Alright. Hey everybody, it's a video featuring the Sonic pillow. Yes. So, what's this video about? Well, I kind of thought 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 recently, I have quite a lot of neat and interesting games in my collection. And I thought to myself, hey, maybe I'll make a video talking about some of the cool stuff, some of the coolest games in the collection. Not necessarily like the rarest games in the collection, but they're just games I look on my shelf and I think to myself, yeah, that's neat. It's neat that I own that. I don't know what I'm gonna call this video, but guess I'll get started. Yeah, starting off with the I guess you could call these complete in box Pokemon ROM hack cartridges. Yeah, I even put my crystal instruction booklet in here just for fun. Yeah, I mean with polished crystal and Pokemon Volt White and Volt White 2. Admittedly, these aren't exactly and I guess this multi-game card in one. Admittedly, these aren't exactly like the best way to play these games. Especially polished crystal. I know this game doesn't even work all that well. But they're just kind of neat to look at. Yeah. Admittedly, this one's is actually a bit more stable, meaning that it doesn't crash nearly as often. But I still play this on an actual like emulator if indeed possible. Next I have is a couple of loose cartridges. You got Mario Paint that come with the NES mouse. Yeah, I've only actually played this like a handful of times, but it's just like, the NES mouse, it's pretty neat. Kind of makes me wonder if they ever bring this over to the Nintendo Switch 2, if they'll I think that would be kind of perfect because the Switch 2 already has the mouse controls, so yeah. Mind you, it would be kind of weird to have a SNES game pretty much locked to the Switch 2, but I guess that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. And then we have Pokemon Green. Yeah, the Japanese versions of Pokemon games are not expensive as the North American ones, but just having Pokemon Green is just cool. It's just yeah. Next we have the N64 Game Shark. Yeah. One day I'll actually use that, but not now. And now we have a bunch of, I guess, next we have Pokemon Heart Gold. Yeah, it's still in its original box. Could be in better shape. And plus the Pokewalker, well, I left it in my pants like a long time ago, and it went for the washing machine, and well, I think you know the rest. And next we have The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. Yeah. This is actually like, I think this is actually like a reproduction box that I bought off of, I think Etsy, but hey, you know, complete in box Game Boy Zelda games are hard to come by, so, you know, I think, so, I don't know, I feel like as long as if you got, like, the authentic cartridge, I feel like getting a reproduction box is, I think it's fine. Unless you're, like, a real hardcore collector. And you're just like, oh, I gotta have, like, the original box and stuff, but honestly, considering the original box is more expensive, is expensive, I think I'm fine with that. Next we have NHL Backyard Hockey, complete in box, and Mario Advance, complete in box, and Spyro You're the Dragon, probably my favorite platformer, and Breath of Fire 4, which is fantastic. And we have Tales of Symphonia. This is a recent pickup that I forgot to put in my last video. Not, come to think of it, I guess it's not in the greatest shape, but it's still kind of neat to have. Yeah, still ironically the only version of the game to be 60 FPS. Still weird that only the GameCube version has that. And then we have Super Smash Bros. Melee. And this GameCube demo disc. Yeah, I think this was like $5, so I decided to pick it up. And I think owning this is just kind of neat. It's like having a piece of history. And Pokemon Coliseum. Plus some box Super Nintendo games. And one box Famicom game. And box copy of Pokemon Stadium 2. And I guess there's one more in box, I don't know how to pronounce this. This game's not that good, but yeah, $20 Super Nintendo game in the box. How could I not buy that? And then, speaking of a $20 game, we have ice hockey. Yeah, probably one of the older games I own. And then we have Tetris, complete in box. Next we have some PSP games. We have Ice Age. Yeah, I've actually got a bunch of these, like, UMD PSP video things. Yeah, I mean, these aren't exactly very rare or valuable. In fact, you can get these pretty cheap, but You know, the fact that you could just watch movies on a PSP, that's just cool. So it's nice to, it's cool to have that. And got some Japanese PSP games. Yeah, it's not every day you see Japanese PSP games, so that's neat to own. Yeah, although one of them was even the big box version that came with the Kuroko figure. Yeah, I think this pack in particular has actually gone up quite a lot, quite a little bit since I bought it. So I guess I must have bought it before the demand got super high. Yeah. All right. Next we got some more some Game Boy games. Yoshi's Cookie and Mario Tennis, the Japanese version, and Pac-Man collection. Yeah, this collection's actually pretty good. You know, I guess if you want your Pac-Man fix on the Game Boy Advance, then this is a pretty good option. Pretty good. Next we got Shantae Day 1 Limited Edition. Yeah, obviously I didn't get this Day 1, but it is really cool to have this since I have Genie Hero. And now we have the Sus Nintendo Switch game. Yeah, already talked about that, so I'm not gonna go into further. And then we have Yumiya with the custom cover or sleeve. Do I have this upside down? I might have this upside down. I'll fix that later. Next we have Tunic, the version that comes with all the goodies and stuff. And Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, the version that comes with the Pokeball Plus. And Rune Factory 3 Golden Memories Edition. And this Japanese game that I don't think I've actually played yet. But I don't think. And I have a whole bunch of these Wii U games that came with amiibos. Obviously, this one came with the Wolf Link amiibo. I took the amiibo out, but I still kept the box. In fact, I think I have a bunch on the shelf right there. Yeah, and next we have Final Fantasy XI. I mean, unfortunately, I don't think you can actually play this anymore, but you know, it's just kind of neat to have a bit of gaming Final Fantasy history. Plus, I kind of want it for the Final Fantasy collection anyway. And the Fallout Oblivion combo pack. Yeah, this one's just neat to me. It's basically just 2 games in one. And now we have Kirby Dream Collection. And then there's Kirby. And then we have Mario Maker Yeah. Can't really do much with this game much these days, but it's the has the big box and the ideas booklet, so that's just neat to me. And next we have The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on Wii U. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people forgot that this game came out on Wii U, because a lot of people, when they're talking about Breath of the Wild, they usually prefer it with the Nintendo Switch, which is, I guess, understandable, since it gave the Nintendo Switch a great launch, but came out too late to save the Wii U. Yeah. Although the Wii U version is still it's still a pretty solid version, all things considered. So, I guess if you want to play Breath of the Wild, but don't want to pay full price for the Switch or Switch 2 version, then I say this is a pretty good option. Obviously, it doesn't run quite as good as the Switch 2 version, but, you know, it's so good. Anyway, that's the neatest pieces to my gaming collection. It's quite, so, goodbye.